There comes a moment in life that no one prepares you for. A moment when you realize that the version of you who got you here is the same version holding you back. It's unsettling because your old self isn't a stranger. It's familiar. It's comfortable. It's the person you survived as. And yet something inside you knows, if you stay who you've been, you'll never become who you're meant to be. Today, we're going to talk about what it really means to outgrow your old self, why it feels uncomfortable, why it feels lonely, why it feels like loss even when it's progress, and most importantly, how to move forward without guilt, fear, or self-betrayal. Because growth doesn't begin with becoming more, it begins with letting go. Outgrowing your old self doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you were right for that chapter. That version of you made sense at the time. It learned how to cope. It learned how to survive. It learned how to endure. But survival is not the same as fulfillment. And the tragedy happens when people confuse loyalty to their past with loyalty to their future. You don't honor your old self by staying stuck. You honor them by continuing the journey they started. Growth is not betrayal. Stagnation is what breaks your heart. Outgrowing yourself feels uncomfortable because it threatens identity. Your brain wants consistency. Your nervous system wants familiarity. Your ego wants certainty. Growth disrupts all three. When you evolve, you lose predictability. You lose routines. You lose emotional shortcuts. And that discomfort often gets misinterpreted as fear, doubt, or failure. But discomfort is not a warning sign. It's a transition signal. It means you are crossing a boundary your old self never crossed before. The old self feels safe because it's known. Even toxic patterns can feel comforting when they're predictable. The brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar growth. That's why people return to habits they've outgrown. That's why they revisit relationships that no longer fit. That's why they sabotage progress when it starts working. Not because they're weak, but because safety is seductive. Outgrowing yourself means choosing the unknown over the familiar, and the unknown always feels threatening before it feels freeing. Habits can be changed, circumstances can be replaced, but identity is deeply rooted. Your old self isn't just behavior, it's stories, beliefs, internal narratives. I'm just like this. I always struggle. I'm not disciplined. This is who I am. Outgrowing your old self means questioning these stories. And questioning identity can feel like losing ground. But what you're actually losing is limitation. People resist outgrowing themselves for three main reasons: fear of uncertainty, fear of responsibility, fear of isolation. When you change, you risk becoming unfamiliar to others. You risk disappointing expectations. You risk standing alone for a while. But every version upgrade comes with a temporary gap. Outgrowing your old self can feel lonely because not everyone grows at the same pace. Not everyone wants to grow. Not everyone understands your shift. Some people will miss the version of you that was easier to predict, easier to control, easier to relate to, and you may feel guilt for changing. But growth doesn't require permission, and staying small to keep others comfortable will eventually make you resentful. Loneliness is not the cost of growth. Stagnation is. Outgrowing your old self involves grief. Grief for who you were. Grief for who you thought you'd be. Grief for paths you didn't take. This grief doesn't mean you're regressing. It means you're integrating. You're honoring the past without living in it. And that emotional release is necessary. You cannot carry every version of yourself forward. Some versions must be thanked and released. Outgrowing yourself is not about running away. It's not about pretending the past didn't happen. It's not about becoming someone fake. True outgrowth is integration. You take the lessons, you keep the wisdom, you discard the limitations. Escapism avoids responsibility. Outgrowth embraces it. Outgrowing your old self means becoming more honest, not more impressive. Relapse doesn't mean failure. It means your nervous system is recalibrating. When you stretch beyond your old limits, your system seeks balance, and sometimes it does that by pulling you backward. This is not regression, it's adaptation. Each time you notice a relapse and choose differently, you weaken the old identity. Awareness is progress. Most people fail because they try to become someone new overnight. That's not growth, that's pressure. Real outgrowth happens through daily upgrades. One better habit, one intentional choice, one upgraded response. The old self dissolves through repetition, not force. Consistency beats intensity every time. Outgrowing yourself means allowing change without shame. You are allowed to want different things. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to choose alignment over history. You don't owe your past eternal loyalty. You owe your future honesty. Your old self lived by old standards. New identity requires new rules. What you tolerate, what you prioritize, what you repeat, what you avoid. Standards shape behavior. Behavior shapes identity. Raise your standards quietly, consistently, intentionally. Motivation starts the journey. Discipline sustains it. Outgrowing your old self means showing up even when you don't feel like it. Not perfectly, not dramatically, but daily. Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect in action. Your future self is built in moments no one applauds. The quiet decisions, the private habits, the unglamorous consistency. Outgrowing your old self isn't cinematic, it's subtle. And that's why it lasts. As you grow, there will be moments when you feel unfamiliar to yourself. That's normal. Growth feels strange before it feels natural. Don't retreat just because it feels unfamiliar. Unfamiliar is not wrong. It's new. You don't need to hate who you were. You don't need to destroy the past. You simply need to outgrow it. Like clothes that no longer fit. Like beliefs that no longer serve. Like habits that no longer align. Release without resentment. Every day you face a choice. Repeat the familiar or upgrade the pattern. Stay who you were or step into who you're becoming. Growth is not one decision. It's a series of small, quiet choices, and each one matters. If you feel like you're behind, you're not. You're evolving at your pace. Comparison distorts growth. Pressure suffocates progress. Stay focused on alignment, not timelines. Outgrowing your old self leads to clarity, peace, confidence, internal alignment. Not because life becomes easy, but because you become honest. And honesty is powerful. You are not meant to remain who you were. You are meant to become who you're capable of being. Outgrowing your old self is not loss, it's liberation. And the courage to evolve will always be rewarded. Not immediately, but permanently. If this message resonated, it means you're ready for more than motivation. You're ready for daily upgrades. On this channel, we don't chase inspiration. We build discipline. We upgrade identity. We grow consistently, one day at a time. Subscribe to Daily Upgrade Motivation and commit to becoming better, not occasionally, but daily. Because growth isn't a moment, it's a lifestyle.